Every Tuesday, 10 o'clock hour, we're joined by Jordan Pugh. But no, we're not going to the phone lines. Joining us right here in studio.
Yes,
and
sir.
As energized as he always is,
sir.
Even more energetic when we're face-to-face.
Yes.
And you're face-to-face with our listeners.
Good to be back, man.
It does.
I love being in the studio. I miss it.
There's an energy about being in the studio.
Yeah.
We're looking at each other talking football.
Vibing. That's what I'm talking about, man.
You get to see the floating helmet here, too, live in person. How about that?
That's very interesting. I've never seen it
floating
before.
in midair.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh.
See?
Look at that.
Oh, it can be fixed. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Well, I thought I messed it up. My bad.
Jordan, you're getting an NFL look or two. You're still kind of waiting for those calls and those tryouts.
Got a few calls last week.
That's what happens because injuries.
Yeah,
they're looking for safety.
So Seattle, Atlanta.
Good.
A little word from Pittsburgh. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I'm ready. I'm doing my part.
You're close to the phone.
I'm doing my part. That's all I'm doing. But until then,
yes,
I am excited to be talking about Aggie football.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think you understand, man. It's been too long. It's been too long since I've been back here.
Is it just kind of like the natural player clock that when August rolls around, you know you're getting close, and so you're naturally just so much more amped up? This is like Christmas for you guys.
This is what it is. When you look at it, what is it, week 2 now? Week 2 to camp?
Yep.
We look at week 2 as a player, it's like, all right, man, let's go. Enough of the scrimmaging, enough of going back and forth. I'm ready to play the game. And you look at, September 5th is the week 1 date. It's like you can't get here fast enough. You know, and you just look at it as a player, that clock is like, man, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not even playing right now, and I'm ready to go. So
Absolutely.
you look at it, and it's exciting to look at the team now.
What are the challenges that present players when you start getting into week 2? Today will be the 9th practice.
Right.
And I think this team's got an unbelievable energy about it. I haven't sensed going out there, and we get to see 15 minutes, right?
Right.
But even in stretching, I hadn't sensed a lull from this group. I mean, you can sense general excitement, but what do you have to do to make sure that doesn't happen when you're talking about day 9, day 10? It's dragging along. People are ready to start playing real football, but yet there's a whole nother week and a half of camp, and then it's game week. There's still 17 days till kick.
I tell you, the biggest thing is you got to keep the guys fresh. And so when you're out there at practice, like I was yesterday, you're looking at them, they look fresh. They look like they're energized and ready to go. At this point, week 2 is always the hardest week for a player. Yeah, you know, I don't care who you are. Week 2 is that we're not at the beginning, but we're not at the end either. And it's like
you got to harness some false excitement sometimes.
Exactly. And you know, and the biggest thing about week 2 is you're trying to prevent injury now. So this is one of those things where as a coach, you want your team to be fresh because you don't want those injuries. You don't know how hard to push them. You don't know how much to lay off either. But you got to get them ready for game day. That's the thing that's tricky. You got to judge it. You got to judge where your guys are at. And so when you look at that, week 2 is always a crucial part of camp. But it's also the part where you start seeing the defining, you know, chemistry with the team, how guys mold, how guys mesh, how the offense looks, receivers and quarterbacks, how they mesh, how the whole defense communicates with each other. And so that's the important part of week 2.
What caught your eye out there at practice yesterday? You've been really following it. For a former player, you, Kevin Smith, I don't know if anybody follows it more than you two guys, locked into what's going on almost daily on Aggie football. And you're seeing what we're doing. You're a contributor with Texags. And but to go out there and see and feel the energy with your own eyes, what caught your eye?
The defense. In particular, Brandon Williams. Man, let me tell you.
Tell us about Brandon.
I wasn't excited. I was optimistic. But then when I saw it with my own eyes, I was like, okay, yeah, this guy can play. He can play.
What tells you that?
When you look at him, just pure athleticism, first off. You know, when you talk about the corner position, you just want athletes. Then especially the way Chavis runs it with the man-to-man, that really helps him out. The thing that would scare me with him is the zone. That's where it gets tricky. You got to be able to read routes, you know, different combinations. But when it's pure man, me versus that guy, and you see him go against the receivers, our receivers, I mean, he holds his own. And he does more than hold his own. He's out there doing his thing. He's long, he's rangy, he's fast, he's quick. And, you know, you take that raw talent and you develop that, and really you see him go into the latter part of the year, you know, and see what he can do, man, he's going to be dangerous.
Are you borderline surprised that a running back with no spring has been able to come through here? It's his second week of playing the position with coaching. Right. He was able to do it in 7-on-7, but that's players out there working. That he's this far along and really looks at times like A&M's best corner and a surefire starter.
Yeah, I am. I'm surprised. You know, I knew that he had the athletic ability, but it's different when you're out there on that island. And to see him hold up against our receivers, I think we have the best 4 receivers in the country. You know, that's not being biased. That's just looking at the athleticism and the numbers that we put up. When you look at those guys, man, and you see what he does, I mean, it's amazing to see that transformation. And now you look at him, you look at the growth of Harris on the other side. You look at the growth of Donovan Wilson. You know what we got in the safeties in Evans and Watts. I mean, we got a back seven, man, that may be dangerous.
This was supposed
dangerous.
to be this and kicker was supposed to be the big question mark, the weak point. If the secondary is as good, and someone says secondary, night and day, so much faster, so much more physical, so much more confident. This is the chief factor here, no question.
Right.
And Terry Joseph is getting coached to coach by John Chavis as a young, budding star assistant coach.
Right.
That helps him become a lot better, too. No question about that. You're seeing a totally revamped group, and if that is true and holds form, this team can challenge for the West.
I tell people all the time that you can see a defense can make a huge jump from one year to another. The reason why you can do that is because it's simple. The defense is see ball, get ball. But then you take Chavis, you take what Chavis does, and he super simplifies it. So the D lineman, you got one gap, you take your gap, and you blow it up. Linebackers, make plays. You know what I mean? They got one gap too. And then you're telling your DBs, look, you got this guy.
That's right.
Don't worry about anybody else but that guy. You simplify it. It lets them play fast. There's no thinking involved. Now, there's going to be points where you're going to have to run zones. You're going to have to run different zone blitzes, this and that. But when you simplify the defense, it lets them play faster and has more confidence. You let the safeties be safeties. You let the corners be corners. And, man, you see the effect that Chavis has on the defense right now.
How much fun is it to go out there and just put your eyes on John Chavis and watch him coach?
The energy. You see the energy that he has. You see what he demands of his players, and you see it being taken over by the guys. You see what they're doing, man. You're seeing guys stepping up and making plays. Like you look at Harris, for example. Look at Devontae. The years that he's been here, you know, he's been up and down, sporadic, this and that. When I was out there yesterday, you saw a focused guy, focused individual. He knew his job. He took control of that secondary. Everything that we talked about in the spring that he has to do, you're seeing it being translated now. And so when you look at just using that as an example, you know, because he's a guy who's been there, 4 years. He's been through the ups and downs.
Yes, he has.
Man, you see the excitement on that side of the ball. It's something, man. You gotta be excited about it.
Now he's playing. Now he knows he's playing well. He knows he's a fit. So he's going to bed happy.
Right.
Those are kids still, right? 18, 22-year-olds. He's waking up. Breakfast tastes better. And you know what's happening, too? Because he's got a natural positivity about him. But when he knows his part's taken care of, he starts lifting the tide in those ships.
Right.
And he starts leading these guys. I think you're seeing a leader from Devontae Harris.
Exactly. And let me tell you this, as a corner, so look, we got Harris, we got Williams, we got who else we have at the corner? Harvey. Whoever, I can't think of everybody else.
Harvey, Victor Davis,
and then look at the
Gardner,
safeties.
Caesar.
Look at the safeties now. We got Wilson, Watts, and Evans. When you have three safeties who can do what they can do, who can run, who can hit, who can cover ground, do all that, it lets you play more confident at the corner spot. So, you know, you can be more aggressive when you know you got guys who can get over the top on you. So when you look at the defense as a whole, just really in the secondary, we're talking, you know, strictly secondary. When you see those guys play and you see the chemistry that they have now, I'm telling you, it's a dangerous combination mixed with those pass rushers that we got up front. I like it.
Don't forget about Dunning. I think he plays as a freshman.
Yeah. Mustang package. Down on the line. Somebody who can play in space. When I actually saw Dunning for the first time, I was like, man, there's no way that's a DB. No way. He's huge, man.
He looks like a linebacker. He covers like a safety.
18 years old. He can't.
He looks like he's a grown man.
There's no way he can be 18 years old, man.
But looks like Taylor Mays, the guy you probably played against.
He does.
Yeah, Billy brought that reference up. It's a good one.
That's a real good example.
He's way faster than Taylor Mays, though.
Yeah, that's a real good example. He does. Kind of long range. He built the same kind of frame. He's going to put on weight.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to be a linebacker, man. He has to.
I don't know.
I can't, man.
But right now, he can be a special ops guy.
Oh, yeah.
The Mustang. He can be the 6th DB because the 6th guy is a total and complete rover. Am I correct here?
Right.
You can play him and cheat him up on the line and show blitz and play coverage, coverage, play blitz, put him in the box.
When you look at the Mustang package, you look at 6 DBs, those 2 DBs, you got the nickel and you got the dime. Basically, those 2 guys are like a Troy Polamalu. Let's simplify it for everybody. Sure. So everybody knows Troy Polamalu. He's up on the line. He's back deep. He's
love his commercials, love his hair.
Running all over the place. So when you look at that, Dunning could be that guy. He's somebody who's big enough he can play in that box. Somebody who's fast enough he can play in open space. And so you got to find a way to get him on the field, man. You get those 6 talented guys out there, it's going to be something that's nice.
It'll be nice, no question about that. What else is nice is Jordan Pugh in studio. What's also nice is your ability to communicate with him directly. Cut out the middleman, me.
Right.
And Alex, call us at 693-1150.
Ask me anything. I'm ready to go.
Ask Pugh at 693-1150 on the Mac Resource Computers hotline, or shoot in your Commerce National Bank text. Right. Commerce National Bank text line at 229-1939. You can tweet us at Texags Radio. You can tweet him at Jordan Pugh 29. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Jordan Pugh 29. And if you follow him, you're gonna become a more positive person. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee all these fights in the NFL.
Man,
that's
crazy.
Be following Jordan Pugh.
That's
get a little more
crazy,
positivity about him.
Yep, let's do it, man. Follow me. Let's go.
The Cowboys one was ridiculous yesterday.
Man,
cheap shots all over the place.
I say this all the time. That little joint practice stuff, I think, this is just my personal opinion. I think it's stupid.
There's always fights.
It's just, what's the point of having it?
Right.
You don't get anything done, nothing accomplished. It's like you might as well just line up and just scrimmage each other and call it a day.
Might as well line up and just fight each other.
Man,
take the helmets off and let's go to blows.
I mean, it is, I haven't seen one camp that's joint that hasn't been one practice. one fight.
I know.
It's like, what's the point, man? And they're big old brawls too. That's what I don't understand. So
that's ridiculous.
That
happened when you were playing?
Oh no. Well, I never had a joint practice.
Oh really?
So when I was with Carolina, we never did it. When I was with Washington, never did it. And the Saints the same way. But we always had fights in turn.
Oh, of course.
But I mean, that's just you get tired of the. It's like brothers fighting. And after the fight, all right, well, you best friends.
Nobody's breaking jaws over $600 though, are they?
No,
in your locker rooms?
No, don't even get me started.
At the same time, though, Gino should have paid the guy back.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And then you go
pay him $600.
Then you go point your finger in his face. Come on, man. Like, come on.
He was kind of asking for it.
Let's be real,
and
man.
Pauly should have had restraint.
Yeah, true. It's the quarterback.
Right.
You can't hit the quarterback.
You're going to get fired. You hit the quarterback.
Come on, man. Give him you have $600, Gino. Let's be honest about the situation. Let's be real about the situation now.
You're the quarterback in New York City.
Man,
you borrowed $600 and you're going to steal from the guy?
I'm like, come on, man.
I see it both ways, man.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right there. I'm right there. I'm in full agreement with you.
We go to the Aggieland Outfitter Social Center. Back to Alex Parker for some questions.
What's up? Somebody texted and said Justin Dunning is Sean Taylor 2.0.
Calm down.
Slow down.
Calm down. Calm down.
Brakes.
He's just a freshman. He has to prove himself at Texas A&M first.
He said Taylor Mays, they went one step too far.
Yeah, now Taylor Mays, I give you that. But Sean Taylor and I, let's bring it back just a little bit. Bit.
Sean Taylor could have been Ronnie Lott if he were still alive.
Yeah.
He'd be Canton.
Pass Ronnie Lott. What? The size and the speed? And the hitting ability, man, no.
He's as good as it gets at that position if he's still alive.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about him in the upper ilk that's ever played the safety
It's
spot.
not even a question.
Yeah.
Not even a question. Not even a debate.
Absolutely.
But
good thoughts. We appreciate the text.
Rick in San Antonio says, if you don't get an NFL job, I strongly suggest someone hires Jordan as an energy coach.
Wow.
Is that a thing? Is an energy coach a thing?
I don't know, but we can create it, though. We can create that.
I created my title at Texags.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You create your opportunity.
She's the sleek, silky, smooth.
There you go.
Superintendent.
Social center
create
superintendent.
Your own luck. You create your own luck. Create your own coach. There you go. Boom. I got it.
I agree. Right. Xavier texted and said, so good having JP back in the studio. Love his excitement. Got me hype as all get out. Who is his breakout player on D, and what's his season record prediction for the Aggies?
I'll make it harder on you. Make it harder on you. Breakout player not named Deshaun Hall, because I knew where you were going.
Man.
Because we've all heard Deshaun Hall. We know what you think of Deshaun Hall.
Breakout player.
Don't say Miles.
I got two of them. I got two of them. Donovan Wilson.
Yeah.
Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
What I saw yesterday with Brandon Williams, don't be surprised. That's all I have to say about that. Don't be surprised about Brandon Williams.
Will you take it a step further and say he gets drafted? 7 rounds.
Yeah, I'll go bold prediction. I'll go draft 6th, 7th round. I'll do that just because of the 1 year experience.
Somebody will take a chance on him and coach him up.
Now, we go season record. At worst, 9-3. At worst, 9-3.
A&M won 8 games last year. I think they're better at every position.
At worst, 9-3. Best, 11-1.
Hardest game on the schedule then. You've been studying it.
Arkansas. I mean, everything that Arkansas is bringing, what they're doing up there, the way they're running the ball, the way that defense is playing, that is the toughest game on the schedule. Honestly, I'm not afraid of Alabama. I'm not afraid of Auburn. I'm not afraid of Ole Miss. Arkansas is that tricky game. That's that tricky game.
Even without Jonathan Williams.
Yes.
Yeah. You know him pretty well.
Because they got
in that area.
They got a two-headed monster, and they still got another running back, man. And now he's getting the full workload.
Yeah. They got this guy named Cody Walker they've been raving about. Apparently, he's the third running back. Now he's the second.
Yeah, and then that new O-line they got up there, man. I don't know. Arkansas, that's that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's interesting. Man, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
That's a tricky game.
Arkansas and Tennessee out of the East. Those are the two where I'm like, I don't know, man.
I'm glad I'm not playing Tennessee right anytime in the next couple of years.
Tennessee's, they remind me of A&M. That's what they remind me of. Young, inexperienced at times last year. But then later in the year, they came on. It's kind of like Arkansas. So, I don't know. We'll see.
AP?
What's up?
Got another one?
Yeah, I did. C Milton 3360. I guess that's his Texags username. He said Periscoped with Jordan this morning on his way to Texags. Very cool. Gabe, you need to use Periscope, especially during practices. It's really cool for guys who grew up using 8-tracks.
Gabe, I'm getting into this Periscope game.
Man,
I don't know what Periscope is.
I tried
it. Periscope.
I tried it.
Yeah.
I tried it, and I was like, it's awkward at first.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, well, what am I supposed to be talking about?
No, I'm not scared of that. I'm scared of who all can watch it. I was trying to find something.
Well, it's worldwide.
The basketball team was playing in Rome.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to find their Periscope.
Uh-huh.
And like you can just click on in and start watching people partying and stuff. It's all open.
But that's
like Nick Saban like watching all these people periscoping their football practices and having a GA record all this stuff.
Well, that's
dangerous.
You got to watch what you put out, man. But it is good though. See, look at that periscoping, man. Before you get over here.
Well, I'm thinking about pre-show periscopes, just so people can kind of see us.
Let's do it.
Figure out what's going on.
Let's do it.
That would be awesome.
Next time I'm down here, we're doing it.
Pre-show periscopes.
We might just do it before every show.
Let's do it.
Not even pre-show, just like in between the breaks and things like that.
I'm nervous about this.
Everybody go follow me and Gabe on Periscope, and we're going to have some interesting stuff for you.
How does one follow one on Periscope?
They just go and follow you, just like Twitter.
I thought it's just attached to your Twitter. If they follow you on Twitter, they already follow you on Periscope.
No, they got to follow you on Periscope.
Oh, gosh.
And we can get topics from all the people,
Another social media I got to worry about?
It's a lot, though, isn't it?
I'm an old ass.
It is a lot.
That's why you have the social center superintendent.
I'll keep you young, though. I'll keep you young. Don't worry.
Silky, smooth social center superintendent. Alex Parker. All right, let's see. You mentioned Donovan Wilson a couple times. Let's dive more into Donovan. And you were the first that I heard bring up because there was talk. Man, what is the cornerback position going to look like? Might they move one of these safeties? Most likely would be Donovan.
Right.
And then this was March.
Yeah.
You brought up, how about nickel for that guy? Because how physical he is, he can play him in the box.
I mean, when you look at Donovan, the reason why I said nickel, the West Virginia game, that told me everything I needed to see. And so then you look at him now, Donovan looks like a football player now. I think he looks like he's about 200, about that 200, 205 range maybe. Looks solid, looks fast, looks quick. Yeah. Can play down in the box. Of course, he can play in space. You already know that. But when you look at our three safeties, you got to find a way to put Donovan on the field.
Yeah.
And you got to put him at that nickel, man. It's just, you look at the athleticism that we have, especially with him, he's got to find a way. The West Virginia game, man, he was shooting gaps. He was playing great in space. He was making tackles in the backfield. And I'm like, this guy is the nickelback. Yeah. That's who he is. As the nickelback, you need somebody who can cover man to man. You need somebody who can play in space. You need somebody who has great awareness. Right. And he has all those intangibles. So when you look at it, Donovan's the perfect guy for that. He put on weight. He looks the part. He looks like he's ready to go to me.
He's as good a looking guy as there is out there. By the way, sometimes you say something, you go, that's not right. I got to correct that. As soon as I said it, Tennessee comes to Kyle next year. It's forever until A&M goes to Knoxville.
Really?
That's a crazy schedule next year with UCLA at home, Tennessee at home. You got to go to Auburn, got to go to South Carolina, got to go to Alabama. Ole Miss is here.
Wow. Yeah.
UCLA might be there. Ronnie, you got to go. We got to go to San Gabriel next year, right?
Wow.
The San Gabriel Mountains in Los Angeles, and then they come back here. Or am I wrong about that? I think
I'm checking, but I think that's right.
I think it's UCLA there, but that's a crazy schedule next year.
I didn't know UCLA was on the schedule.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, UCLA on the schedule the next 2 years.
A&M will host the first game of the series at Kyle Field September 3rd, 2016.
And then go there in 2017.
September 2nd, 2017.
Interesting.
Finally get to cover a game.
Let me tell you something, man. We're laying the groundwork right now.
Yeah.
Now let me say this. It's hard to tell what a team's going to do until that first whistle blows. Okay, so you get out there with an opponent like Arizona State, that's going to be a nice challenge. But when you look at what we got, you look at the speed, you look at the athleticism, you look at how guys are playing, you can tell just in practice, chemistry tells you a lot. And that takes you a long way when guys trust each other. And so when you out there at practice, you see guys trusting each other, especially on defense. Offense, they already got that down pat. But defensively, they're trusting each other. That's what I'm excited about. That's what has me so optimistic about the season, because you see the chemistry building with those guys.
You get a sense of Chief who likes to play 5 and 6 DBs because you get your fastest guys out there.
Right.
And especially when you're playing spread teams. Do you get a sense he's probably leaning to being more comfortable playing 5 DBs or 6 in certain situations versus your typical 4-3 and then 4 defensive backs, because you got some situations where he's got 4 proven linebackers, but now he's starting to really believe in 4 safeties, probably hearing more Nick Harvey stuff, maybe 3 corners. I mean, he's got guys that he's believing in, but we're still trying to figure out what he's got at linebacker. He knows he's got about 3-4 guys, but that's not a lot of guys at linebacker.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Might he be considering playing 2 linebackers more often than not?
Right. I'll tell you what. You got to go with more DBs. This is why the game's changing. And so, let me take that back. The game isn't changing. The game is changing in the SEC. So it's not too many more I-back guys. You'll get I-backs out of Arkansas, Alabama, LSU.
Yep.
But, you look at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn. Who else? I mean, you just naming teams. Tennessee, Florida. Those guys, they're spread offenses now.
Yep.
And so you got spread offenses. The whole goal for a spread offense, like our offense, to put people in space and utilize one-on-one matchups. In order to utilize one-on-one matchups, you got to have your athletes out there in order to cover those guys one-on-one. So you got to go with more 5 and 6 DB packages, because just the athletes in general. Mississippi State, that game, for example, Dak Prescott, he's going to be a vital part of the offense. I want my best athlete on Dak. That's how I take that. And so I put 5 or 6 DBs out there to combat that. And so you see the league changing. I think A&M and Missouri, I forgot them too.
Yep.
The spread. A&M and Missouri changed the landscape of the SEC. They're realizing that you got to get your athletes in space, man. And you're seeing that being transformed all over the league now.
And then when you get lucky through recruiting and get a guy that's 6'4", 220 pounds, who's still a real safety, you can put him on the field and play him like a linebacker, and you can cheat him up and play him like a stand-up rush end.
Exactly.
That is a special piece. I'm not sure it's going to take Justin Dunning long to be pretty darn good.
Man, I'm telling you, this team can be dangerous. We didn't even talk about the offense. We're just talking about the defense.
Right.
I mean, offensively,
you love the receivers.
You're not going to stop us. I mean, it is what it is, but you combine the offense, we're going to score points. I've said it over and over again. We're going to score points on offense. Nobody's going to stop us from that. Our defense, I'm telling you, this team will live and die by our defense, and our defense is going to make strides. I'm telling you right now. Take my word for it. They're going to make strides.
Quick thought on because we got like less than a minute.
Okay.
What do you think of the quarterback battle?
You got to go down. You have to. Arizona State, first game of the season. He's been there. He's done that. He's proven. You don't know what Kyler can give you. You don't know what Jake can give you right now. You got to go with Allen. I'm an Allen fan. I'm a Murray fan too, but you got to go with him. You got to.
That's not your Plano West coming out, is it?
Oh, no, it's not. It's unbiased. He's an Aggie now, so we can ride together. But
that's right.
I got to go with Allen.
He's banged you up a couple times. He's broken your heart a time or 3.
He's all right in my book now, I guess.
Yeah.
Since he's an Aggie, I guess.
It's going to be fun to see it play out. Jordan, I love it, man. I always enjoy the time.
Oh, yeah. Love being here, man. It feels good to be back.
That's Jordan Pugh. We cover 2 segments every single week, Wednesdays, 10 o'clock on TexAgs Radio.